Hey, this will be a video chart on PCFG. Done this one quite a few times and had a bunch of messages coming on it today, and I can see why. Pretty rough day. Big volume drop here, and then you couple that with the big volume bar, and my guess would be some sort of bad news or something out today. I'm not real sure, but judging by the chart, pretty obvious that it could have been a much better day. The first thing that really sticks out to me is we had the classic double top pattern take shape here. I'm sure many of you have heard of a double bottom pattern, but here we had the double top where the price came up here, couldn't quite get through it, and then came here, and then 2 days in a row tried its best to push through this level here, couldn't quite do it. This is where the double top comes in, and then this is where the chart kind of played out from there. So depending on what your strategy is, it's going to kind of dictate how you should look at the chart. If you're a day trader or something like that and you bought up looking for this breakout, you should be out by now a long time ago. If you're in this for the longer term chart and for the overall kind of story, there is actually still hope. And before you call me crazy, let me explain myself. But for the longer term chart, it is still technically bullish. It's hanging on by a thread, but it is still at the end of the day bullish. We'll see how the rest of this week transpires, but as of today at the close, we are still bullish. And on that note, the reason I'm saying that is if we look here at our always important 50-day simple moving average, you can see that just like we would want to see it do, it did hold up as support here, a nice little bounce. So for the chartists that were sitting there waiting to accumulate some shares there, congratulations, you got the bounce there. But for the longer term players now, this is going to be the key level of support that we want to see hold going forward. If it doesn't, then crunch this up here, you can see that the next area where I see the price heading down to, just based on where the support levels are, it's going to be right around here at the 0.0365 region. Where am I getting this from? Well, if we look back here through the history of the chart, you can see acted as resistance here, resistance once again here, and then when it did break above, you can see a couple pullback days where it held as support, and so this was a resistance that turned into support. So if the 50-day can't hold, then the price looks like it's probably going to be headed all the way down here, and that's not going to really help out for the bullishness of the chart at all. For the long-term players that actually follow the 200-day, technically as long as the price stays above this moving average on the chart is still bullish for you. But the majority of people, I'm guessing, aren't really following the 200-day, so I'm just going to use a 50-day. So if the price closes below this, then that's kind of where the chart drifts into bearish territory and really just doesn't become an attractive chart at all, to kind of put it bluntly. But like I said, there is still hope. It is still hanging above here. So if we can now start to get some sideways action where the closes start to hang around above here and then head back up, the chart would still remain bullish. But like I said, hanging on by a thread, don't have too much leeway there before any sort of closes below this moving average. But we have closed above it, so we'll see what the rest of this week brings. In terms of resistance levels, not really going to touch on those just because priority number one on this chart now is where's the bottom essentially at? Is the 50-day right here going to be the bottom, or is the bottom going to be down here somewhere or at the 200-day? That's really the key question. So resistance-wise, I'm not going to go over that just because the key aspect needs to be determining where this bottom is. And if it is the 50-day, then we need to start to see some closes continue to be above it like today's action was. If there are any other questions on the chart, please let me know. If not, I'd encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook, and with your newsletter subscription, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, all sorts of things from big boards down to penny stocks. So there's a good variety, something for everybody. It is all free. We've been making some good money on our alerts. So I'd encourage you to go to the website, sign up, and see what it's all about. One more time, this was PCFG. Thanks for listening.